Thank you for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. Financial markets reached a milestone Wednesday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average hit a new record high. Market analysts and Trump administration officials predict the stock market will grow even higher and the economy will strengthen if Congress cuts taxes. Garrett Lane is on this story.
It was a landmark day for the financial markets with big numbers as the Dow closed at a new record high of more than 23,000.
Overall, the market's having its best year since 2013, and the overall environment is probably about as good as it's been since that 2006 period.
It's been a very strong year. So far, the Dow is up over 17%, with 26 all-time records set since last November. Market analysts say the underpinning of the market is solid, and global economic growth is picking up.
A lot of folks would say right now the economy is in a sweet spot. One person called it as good as it gets right now for the U.S. consumer.
Even President Trump was amazed at the new record high for the Dow, tweeting, "Wow," and displaying a chart showing the market's steady climb upward since his election just under a year ago.
I think the clarity of having the election over was really a big relief to a lot of people. I do think it's fair to say that his election catalyzed something in the U.S. consumer.
Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin says the market's rally is based on reasonably high expectations of getting tax reform done. And he warned members of Congress that the market rally could run into trouble if they fail to cut taxes. Mnuchin told Politico, "To the extent we get the tax deal done, the stock market will go up higher. But there's no question in my mind that if we don't get it done, you're going to see a reversal of a significant amount of these gains." Earlier this week in a speech at the Heritage Foundation, President Trump said an historic tax cut will unleash a new middle-class miracle and revitalize the economy.
Our tax plan will ensure that companies stay in America, grow in America, and hire in America. We will lift our people from welfare to work, from dependence to independence, and from poverty to total beautiful prosperity.
The White House is pushing hard to get tax reform done by the end of this year. But that may not be easy. And as for stocks, analysts say the market will have some corrections. But they believe over time it will keep heading higher. Gary Lane, CBN News.
Republicans are desperate for a major legislative victory by the end of the year, and many hope that victory will be tax reform. But in order to begin talks on tax relief, the Senate must first pass a budget resolution. Abigail Robertson has more on this story from Washington.
Republicans are trying to show unity and gain momentum on their tax reform plan. But public party infighting from Senators Rand Paul and Lindsey Graham over disagreements on next year's budget resolution is making that difficult. Senator Paul told CBN News that some Republicans want to spend more than the government is supposed to.
Really, the people tanking the budget deal are Senators McCain and Graham by insisting that we spend more money than is available, by exceeding the spending caps.
Senator Graham fired back on Twitter, saying if Senator Paul votes no on the budget resolution this week after opposing Graham's recent health care bill, he will be the Democratic Party's MVP of 2017. The 2018 budget resolution has to pass the Senate in order for Republicans to move ahead on a tax reform bill. Senator Paul says he strongly favors tax cuts, but he thinks they have to be accompanied by cutbacks in government spending.
Let's not spend so much money in the budget. Let's actually put forward a budget that doesn't exceed our self-imposed caps. The problem is we have people in our party that are insistent that spending exceed the budget caps. That's where our real problem is.
Senator John Thune, chair of the Senate Republican Conference, told CBN News he thinks the budget will pass with or without Senator Paul's support. But if it doesn't pass, Congress may not be able to get a tax measure through by the end of this year.
We want to have a bill on the president's desk before the end of the year. That's the goal, and I hope that we can keep that.
Many in the GOP believe they cannot afford missing an opportunity to pass a tax bill after failing to fulfill one of their longtime campaign promises of repealing and replacing Obamacare. Senators Lamar Alexander and Patty Murray introduced a bipartisan bill this week to help temporarily stabilize health insurance markets. But Senator Thune says at the moment that plan is stalled out.
The president has said he's opposed to it in its current form, and I think Senator Alexander is trying to work with the administration to fix it in a way that meets the president's objections and hopefully gets it to a path where it can move forward. But at the moment, that's kind of on hold. I want to make sure that if there's flexibility for the states, that it's real, that it's meaningful, that allows states to kind of design plans that work better for their populations instead of having a one-size-fits-all from Washington, D.C.
Some Republican senators are worried that taking on health care again could be a distraction from their tax agenda. But Senator Thune says both issues need to be dealt with.
We've got to be able to multitask up here. Tax reform is really critical to our economy. If we want to get better paying jobs, higher wages in our economy, we've got to reform our outdated tax code.
The Senate budget resolution is expected to pass by the end of this week, and then Republicans will have to move quickly to get their tax plan in place by the beginning of next year. Reporting from Capitol Hill, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.
The tech world is rescuing victims of human trafficking and turning the table on pimps. Coming up, we're going to show you the new technology that is saving lives. What began as a university project is now software that law enforcement agencies use to fight human trafficking across the country. Caitlin Burke brings us the story.
Criminals often use technology to hide their crimes and cover their tracks. Now the tech industry is looking to turn the tables in favor of crime fighters.
They have resource constraints, and these kinds of tools take what may have been manually impossible or would take hundreds of hours to do down to seconds.
Kara Jones helped start Marinus Analytics, a company with groundbreaking software called Traffic Jam. It helps investigators discover patterns of criminal and victim activity.
The goal was to provide some sophisticated technology to law enforcement for combating human trafficking, specifically sex trafficking.
Traffic Jam started here at Carnegie Mellon University as an undergraduate honors project. Now it's transforming the way that law enforcement agencies collect and analyze evidence in their search for victims of sex trafficking.
Traffic Jam allows us to look at a potential victim, identify a link to another victim, and then by having victims linked, identify a suspect and have a working case.
Major Richard Hoffman's detectives regularly use the software. Detective Rob Pereira is currently on a case involving a trafficker moving women throughout the country. After obtaining a lead about a woman with a prostitution charge in Colorado, Pereira put Traffic Jam to work.
I had got the police report from Colorado and found the phone number that was used during their investigation. So at that point, I can go into Traffic Jam and I can pull up that phone number. And as I pull up that phone number, I see that there is a wide swath of the country in which this phone number was used. Through this, I can determine where she was, when she was there, and then follow the phone numbers and also the images that are being used. So I had already spoken to several victims in this case, and I knew a lot of the areas that the trafficker was going. So that now corroborates the information that I was receiving from other women, because this guy is going with her to those exact same places.
This data is publicly available, and there is a lot of this data, so there is an opportunity to use the most sophisticated in artificial intelligence to look through this data and to help law enforcement identify these victims.
When it comes to identifying sex trafficking victims, efficiency and speed are crucial.
Because people will only be in your city for a 3-day period, if you're not able to locate somebody quickly and determine that they're a victim and interact with them, find out where they are, who else is associated with them, you're going to miss the only opportunity you have to make contact.
This sophisticated tool does more than just link phone numbers and keywords from online data. It also contains facial recognition.
Traffic Jam pulls images, and so you don't just get the image that's posted, say, today. You can look historically at other images that are related to the same phone number, related to the same image, or similar image.
While Traffic Jam's design specifically targets human trafficking, it can provide detectives leads on a host of other violent crimes.
If you look at the heroin epidemic, if you look at robberies, if you look at gang involvement, the 2013 National Gang Report identified gangs as moving to human trafficking as financial gains. So there are so many interrelated violent crimes at these hotels.
To date, Traffic Jam has helped recover hundreds of victims of sex trafficking, a small taste of what can happen when law enforcement and the tech industry join forces.
Caitlin Burke, CBN News, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it does make you ask yourself, okay, what am I doing?
We are bringing you a first look at the film Same Kind of Different as Me, coming up next right here on CBN NewsWatch. Stay with us. And welcome back to CBN NewsWatch. I sat down with Renee Zellweger, Greg Kinnear, and Jaimin Ansu, the stars of the new film Same Kind of Different as Me. It is the real-life story of how a homeless man saves the life of a wealthy art dealer whose life looks perfect on the outside, but it's really falling apart.
I had another dream last night.
Was it a good one, or was it about me?
It was about a poor wise man who changes the city.
Debbie Hall's dream gave birth to the best-selling book, The Same Kind of Different as Me. It also began the friendship between the two men who wrote it, her husband Ron, a wealthy art dealer, and Denver Moore, a homeless man. They met at a Texas shelter.
My wife showed me Christ-like forgiveness a few years before that for having an affair, and she threw my sin as far as the east is from the west, never to bring it up again. Just like Christ forgives our sins, she erased it out off the blackboard of her life and memory. And so I told her for that forgiveness, I would do anything she asked the rest of our lives together. And she had asked me to do nothing except be faithful and back in the church and serve and tithe and all the kind of things that we're supposed to be doing as believers. I was always waiting for the shoe to fall, and then one day she asked me to be friends with a crazy homeless man who threatened to kill everybody.
That's a big ask.
What about him?
He can be dangerous.
Hi. What's your name?
You don't need to know my name.
Well, I'd like to know your name. We have to talk to him.
I don't understand what's going on here.
That's a man from my dream.
You'd be doing me a big favor, just being nicer.
You want to be my friend? Well, I'm gonna have to think about that.
It's a miracle story and a major motion picture with an Academy Award-winning cast.
Renee, you play Debbie.
Yes.
What is it about her that allowed her to forgive her husband, first of all, and then send him chasing after a homeless man? What about it?
That's a question I would love to have been able to ask her myself. And in reading the book and in talking to her husband, Ron Hall, what I gather is she was a good person, just inherently good, and she had faith, and she wanted to commit her life to making a difference in other people's lives. And boy, did she.
Yeah, I imagine that touched you personally.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it does make you ask yourself, okay, what am I doing?
I couldn't understand why I never could see where he went. I think God was giving me a lesson about me, he's Debbie.
Jaimin, you play Denver.
Yes.
Do you think he's the hero in this story?
I think Debbie's the hero. Debbie brings us, together. Debbie brings the human touch out of us. I mean, for Ron, obviously.
What touched you most about Denver's character?
When you look at where he came from, what, the challenges, in life, sort of like he was faced with life. And despite all that, the wisdom that comes through his outlook on life, unconditional love that he has for humanity, that comes out literally after, sort of like Ron Hall sort of breaks the ice, breaks the, that connection. It's beautiful to see, and it's very, he's quite a tough character to portray. God put every stars in heaven, and even gave every one of them a name. If one was gonna fall from the sky, that was up to him too.
Denver's wisdom comes from many real-life challenges. Most are unimaginable.
The short version is he was crazy. He was an ex-con. He had been on the streets for 25 years. Wow. He did not read or write. He'd never been to school a day in his life. And the most tragic thing, when he was just a young, innocent 16-year-old boy back on a plantation in Louisiana, one day he was helping a white woman change a flat tire when all of a sudden 3 Klansmen come out of the woods on horseback and accused him of bothering a white lady. They put a noose around his neck and dragged him behind a horse and told him never again speak to a white person and never again look a white woman in the eye. He was 62 years old on the day that I first laid eyes on him. Wow. And he had kept that promise from the time he was 16.
Wow. And here you have this white woman essentially.
And you have this white woman that's getting in his face and forcing him to look her in the eye.
What you reading? It's a book of stories, poetry. I used to read to you when you were little. You never liked it much.
Greg, you play Ron. I see he makes a cameo in the film. I've had a chance to meet and talk to him, so I know you have as well. What was it about him that you gleaned, that you wanted to make sure you brought to this role?
I think just how much Debbie, his wife, and Denver, how much he learned from them, how much they changed him. This is a guy who was very insulated and kind of guy who's looking to seek forgiveness through writing a check for his wife's cause. All those kind of go-to touchstones of the human kind of selfish behavior. He's the first to say he's a flawed person, but I can tell through this movie how deeply affected he was, not only by her, but his relationship with Denver and that passion for trying to, for needing to get that story out.
I worried I was so different from other people, but what I found out was everybody's different. Same kind of different as me.
And Same Kind of Different as Me is in American theaters this weekend. And as you saw, the man behind the film who wrote it is Ron Hall. We've got more from him online. Stay with us.
There's one that I use almost every day. Wow. And that's if the devil ain't messing with you, he's already got you.
I guess that's right.
Yes, and another one, like we're all homeless, just working our way home. He told me, he said, Mr. Ron, whether we's rich or whether we's poor or something in between, he said, this earth ain't no final resting place. So he said, in a way, we're all homeless, just working our way home. He told me one day I was walking the streets with him, and I was not being so kind to some obnoxious homeless people that were there sitting on the curbs. And he said, what do you see down at the end of the street? And I said, well, you talking about the courthouse? He said, that's what I'm talking about. He said, Mr. Ron, that courthouse is full of judges. God don't need no more judges. He's got courthouses full of them. He said, God needs servants. So if you're going to be walking the streets with me, don't ever judge, just serve.
Audiences nationwide will have the chance to see a groundbreaking film by the Christian band For King and Country live on Facebook. The film is called Priceless, and it is aimed at raising awareness about sex trafficking. This year marks the one-year anniversary since the film debuted in theaters. For King and Country are the frontmen, Luke Smallbone and Joel Smallbone. They produced and acted in the film. You can check out the film on Christian Cinema's Facebook page tonight. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. For the latest in uplifting entertainment news, make sure you be sure to check out Studio 5. It airs each Wednesday at 5. You can watch it on Roku, Apple TV, or online at cbn.com/Studio 5. Stay with us. There is much more of CBN NewsWatch coming up right after this. It's been more than a year since the shooting death of Philando Castile during a traffic stop. But what started out as a divisive and dark event is now being used to bless countless students in the Minnesota area at the Minnesota community where Philando was raised. More than $80,000 was raised, $10,000 of which will provide school lunches for students at the elementary school where Philando worked. Before his death, the campaign called Philando Feeds the Children. It completely wiped out each student's lunch debt. The remaining funds will be poured into other schools in the community. Philando Castile's mother, Valerie, says she is proud of her son's life and she hopes the program will reach other school districts across the country. Well, today is Thursday, and in case you didn't know, we have a Facebook Live show called The Prayer Link. It airs today starting at 1:30 p.m. on CBN News' Facebook page. This week's show will feature evangelist Joan Hunter, who was diagnosed with breast cancer. Hear how God healed her broken heart and then miraculously healed her of the disease. So be sure to visit CBN News' page today at 1:30 p.m. and check it out. Right now, it's time for your Thursday Thankful. I hope you'll join me in this prayer of gratitude. Heavenly Father, I ask for nothing in this moment. I come only to say thank you for all you've already done. In that prayer, I also know that if you've never done anything else, you've already done enough. With that word of prayer, make this a thankful Thursday and a wonderful rest of the week. That is a wrap for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. We thank you so much for your company. Remember, you can always find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about at cbnnews.com. And of course, we'd love to hear what you think about the stories you've seen here today. You can do that by emailing newswatch@cbn.com. And of course, you can always reach us on Facebook, Twitter, as well as Instagram. Hope you'll join us again right here next time. Be sure to make this a thankful Thursday. We'll see you right back here come Friday. Goodbye, everybody, and God bless.